right? But they're making you look bad in the eyes of like the law, the system. Hey there, Capricorn, and welcome to your week of October 25th, 2021 General Tarot reading. We're going to look at your energies coming into this week, some challenges you might be facing, as well as some possible outcomes to hopefully work through that. We're going to do clarifiers for all those cards, and as well as a oracle card to tie everything off at the end here. So you're going to want to stick around for all that. These are general readings, mind you, Capricorn. So some, all, or none of this may resonate with you. If it does resonate, great. If it doesn't resonate, it's just not your message. Don't try to make stuff like that fit into your life, you know. So let's see, without further ado, Capricorn, what we got for you here. So let's take a look at how you're coming into the week. We got Gemini here with the Lovers card. We got Spike playing with the loud toys. We got Temperance with Sagittarius here, and the Queen of Wands. Hopefully that's not too noisy. Hopefully the mic's not picking that up. But we've got, of course, the Lovers here, which is Gemini's card, and Temperance, which is Sagittarius' card. So you may have one or both of those in your chart. If you do, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear that kind of stuff. I'm a Gemini Venus, I believe. So if we have that in common, always nice to hear. But with the Lovers here starting things off, you got love on your mind, or you're very attractive to a partner at this time. Could be possibly that's what you're drawing in. Like you have that energy, you're kind of drawing in a partner. Hello, Spike, jumping up on the table. The Lovers can also represent just like love in general, not necessarily like a partner type of love, but a soulmate type person coming in for you. Generally with the Lovers though, it is kind of like that. It's not like the Two of Cups, which Two of Cups can generally represent a soulmate type of person who's just kind of coming in to teach you a lesson and then off they go. Whereas the Lovers, it's more of like a permanent thing, right? They may not stick around forever with you. You know, life is fickle, people change, but this is a person that really wants to stick around. They're going to be around for a long time. So that's fantastic. So that's either you being in that kind of energy and drawing someone in, or someone coming for you. So I love that. We got the Temperance card here as well, sign of Sagittarius, as we said. It's a card of being flexible and willing to mix and willing to kind of experiment in order to achieve the path you want, in order to achieve the path of glory is what it is here, leading up to the sun, which is the happiest card in the deck. So yeah, I love that. So I feel like you're very much willing to be flexible, willing to experiment, maybe date some different people that you might not have dated before, right? You're willing to try some things out. Maybe you always liked, quiet homebody type of people. Now you're willing to, date someone who's a little more adventurous, or someone who's more active, like they go out and, work out and be in nature more often, right? So I like that. That's awesome. The Temperance card as well, this angel here, I see this angel is also in the Judgment card, which is about making a final decision. So I feel like you're not at that point yet. You're not at the point where it's like, this is it, this is the person, this is my type. It's more like, let's experiment and grow and see and find out what my type or the kind of person I really want is. So that's lovely. We got the Queen of Wands here as well, the most sexual card in the deck. So that's very nice if you're looking for that. But the Queen of Wands is a person who is very motherly and nurturing, as all the queens are, but she relates more to your passions and your desires, right? She really wants you, yourself, or people around her to nurture that aspect of yourself, to really nurture the things that you want out of your life. So that's lovely. The Queen of Wands also is a person, and I feel like this is probably a mindset you might be taking right now, is she doesn't give power to things that would otherwise be powerless, right? She has this black cat in front of her, and that represents black cats, walk in front of your path. It's supposed to be bad luck, right? Or you walk under a ladder or something like that. It's supposed to be bad luck. You break them here, all that stuff, right? All those superstitions. And she does not give power to those things, because if she gives power to them, then they're strong and they rule over her. But if she doesn't give power to them, they're just nothing, right? So I feel like that's kind of a thing where you're not giving your power away to things that don't deserve it, not giving your power away to things that otherwise wouldn't have any effect on you at all. So I love that. Very nice, Capricorn. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got for your potential challenges here for you. See what's going on there. We got Pop Out. We got the King of Cups showing up here in your potential challenges. So let's see what else we got here for you. You got Libra coming in with the Justice card. Might be dealing with a Libra. And we've also got the Ace of Swords as well. And so, starting things off with the King of Cups here. King of Cups is very much, the master of his own emotions. He does not, doesn't allow his emotions to master him. He doesn't let them rule over him. He can see he's in these rocky waters here, but he's unfazed, right? He's kind of like a been there, done that kind of person, or I'm not gonna let this get a reaction out of me. That kind of a person. So that might be something you're having a bit of trouble with at this time. Maybe your emotions are at this time, a little flared up, having a hard time reining them in. So maybe that's something you need to work on this week. Or it's possible as well that you're encountering a King of Cups who's kind of giving you some grief here at this time. Maybe something to do with a legal matter, as we see the Justice card here. And the Justice card is all about, being fair, being just, trying to be balanced and have, everyone come away with a win, come away satisfied here with the Justice card. Of course, you got the scales here to balance things out. So it's possible right now you're having some legal troubles at this time, or you might be having, with this King of Cups here, you might be feeling like this person's giving you some legal troubles. Maybe you have something going on between you two. That's possible. Or it's just saying potentially here, this person's just not treating you fairly, right? They're just not being fair. They're not being just. They're kind of just doing their own thing. Which is leading to the Ace of Swords down here. And the Ace of Swords represents overcoming a challenge you face, but when it's in your challenge positions, it may feel like you just can't overcome anything. Like you have that, not necessarily that mindset, but it just, you have that overbearing feeling of I can't do this. I can't overcome this. I'm going to lose, right? Because they're rigging the system against you here, right? So very, very tough when it comes to that kind of stuff. That's really unfortunate, but I feel like you're in a good energy though to overcome this. I feel like with the Temperance card here, having that flexibility and having just a loving energy around you, I feel like that's going to help guide you through this. But let's see what we got in your potential outcomes here for you, Capricorn. All right, we got the Empress, lovely. We got the Three of Swords as well. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. Interesting. So the Empress is fantastic. She is she has all the queens combined into one. So the Queen of Wands, which you've been, kind of more in that kind of an energy. The Empress is kind of like them all combined into one. You get that awesome power that the Empress holds, being very motherly and nurturing in all aspects of your life, while as also bringing in a ton of abundance and creating new opportunities for yourself. So I feel like this is going to move through. You are going to move through this, and it's going to lead to a ton of abundance for you. I feel like the ways you're going to do this, though, is with the Three of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. The Three of Swords saying, cut out the things that no longer serve you, right? This person might be rigging things against you because they're exploiting, sort of not necessarily weaknesses in your life, but those things that are kind of just they're taking up space or exploiting those kind of things, right? It might be a situation where you kind of have an excess of something that it's just kind of not serving you. And this King of Cups might be, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy, or it doesn't have to necessarily be a guy. It could be a woman as well. Same goes for the Queen of Wands. If you're a man, the Queen of Wands doesn't necessarily apply to you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not for you. It's just energy. It's all just energy. But it might be a situation when this person is kind of seeing hey, look, they have an excess of this. They shouldn't, win in this situation because look, they already have a ton of that. And it's well, yeah, I have a ton of this, but it's not something that I use, right? It's just kind of excess. I'm trying to get rid of it, that might be a thing. I need to cut that stuff out. So when they go to point out, hey, you got all this, you'd be no, I don't actually. And then, it's hey, they have all this kind of excess, I don't know, maybe it's a situation where you're trying to win something that's important to you, that you really want, you really value, but this King of Cups is pointing out oh, they have a bunch of stuff like that. They don't need another one like that, right? Whereas you can be well, I'll get rid of all this stuff so that way this looks more in my favor, right? Something like that. If that's making any sense to you. In my mind, it is. I'm having a hard time explaining it, though. So, but anyway, just cutting out the excess. I feel like that's going to get you there. With the Four of Pentacles as well here, I feel like you just need to play it safe. I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, you need to just do what everyone else does. You need to just play it safe, not act irrationally. Just be careful, just take your time. Don't do anything crazy. Because I feel like that's what this person's doing here. I recently Oh, geez. There's a guy on YouTube named Ryan Hollinger, and he does, what is it? He does like video reviews for like just horror movies, right? And I'll see if I can remember to link the video down below. But he talked about this movie called Dark Water. It's this Japanese horror film, and it's less a horror film than more like a ghost story, right? It's not really all that scary. But he talks about in it, there's a woman who's going through a custody battle with her husband over their child, and the husband wants full custody. Wants full custody, and when they're like at hearings in front of like lawyers and stuff, he deliberately like attacks her so that he can make it look like she's mentally unstable, right? And in the meantime, she's dealing with a ghost in her apartment too, which is just really setting her off the rails. But that's kind of what I'm getting a sense here. It's like this person's kind of like attacking you when you're kind of in a vulnerable position to make you look worse than you are. Well, you're not bad, right? But they're making you look bad in the eyes of like the law, the system, right? The ones that are going to make the decision on whether you get what you want here, right? And it's just that kind of thing. I feel like you need to kind of don't sling mud back at them, but you need to kind of come at them the way the King of Cups comes at them, which is like you would no sell it, or you wouldn't like get worked up. You don't get, you don't get upset about this kind of thing. So very interesting, very interesting. Just play her safe. Don't take any risks. Don't, give into those outbursts. So let's take a look here. And interesting, the sun is on the bottom of the deck. We talked about that here with the Temperance card. The sun, like heading towards happiness here. So very interesting. I like that. But we're going to get into your clarifiers here in just a second, Capricorn. Before we do, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. We're going to tie everything off with an oracle card at the end, so you're going to want to stick around for that. But without further ado, thank you again for being here, Capricorn, and let's get into your clarifiers. We got the world, we got the Eight of Swords, and we got the Four of Wands as well. Very interesting. The Four of Wands represents a card of marriage, and we have the Lovers up here as well. So I feel like that's really something you're trying to attract in at this time. You're trying to attract love, marriage, that kind of security. So I love that. That's fantastic. We got the world, which is a card of a big cycle coming to an end as well. So I feel like something has recently come to an end, and or you want something to come to an end soon. You're really pushing towards that. That's why maybe you're doing this experimentation with Temperance. So I like that as well. And we got the Eight of Swords here. Normally a card of self-imposed restrictions. I feel like it's more of something you're striving to put restrictions on yourself, but I don't feel like they're there yet. Whereas we have like that King of Cups here, that person who does put restrictions on themselves and doesn't like let their emotions master them in your challenge position. I feel like you do want that, and you understand that that is something that is important to you and something you're going to need. But I feel like here it's still just it's a wish more than like an actual like I am doing this. So let's take a look. Let's clarify your challenges here. See what's going on with them. Right. We got the Five of Swords, big time conflict, the Hierophant here, Taurus energy, and the Knight of Swords as well. Yeah, the Five of Swords is a win at all cost mode. So like I was talking about, like how this King of Cups here might be doing that to you, like where they're playing dirty, they're not playing fair, they're trying to attack you, trying to provoke you into saying or doing something that will ultimately lead to you losing out in whatever the situation is. They're not playing fair with the Justice card here. So yeah, just big time conflict. So I feel like that's something you gotta watch out for, right? You gotta be aware that they're gonna come at you, like they're gonna sling mud, right? We got the Hierophant here as well. The Hierophant is a card of learning, a card of someone teaching others. It can also be a card of you teaching as well, where it's clarifying your challenge positions here. I feel like this is a hard lesson to learn, right? Like whatever this is, it's like maybe this person you thought you could trust before, and now they've turned around and they're like, I'm going to use all that stuff I know about you against you. And that's a hard lesson to learn, is that like some people are hiding their true intentions, or some people, once they become enemies, they will sink to those levels. They have no respect for like what you used to have, right? So very interesting there as well. Is a sign of Taurus, so you might be dealing with a Taurus at this time that maybe is that King of Cups. Might not be, could be any sign, and this is a general reading, of course. But yeah, I just feel like there is a lesson to be learned here, but it's a hard lesson, right? The Knight of Swords here as well, things moving fast. I feel like this person wants things to move along quickly before you have a chance to really regroup and defend yourself. Like, I feel like they're coming at you with an initial fury and flurry. You know, they're really coming at you, really wanting to like sling a lot of grenades, mud, whatever it is at you, trying to throw you off your game as fast as possible, because I feel like they know if you have a chance to regroup and you have a chance to kind of like, you know, no sell this, you know, or just a chance to really come back and like be like, well, yeah, whatever, like cut out what you don't need anymore, take the safe route, take the safe approach and stuff, and, you know, come back stronger than ever. They really want to end it quickly, right? Because they know they won't win if you come back, right? If you survive this initial bit, they ain't got nothing left after that. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Spike's playing with some toys here on the floor. But let's see what we got here for you for your clarifiers for your outcome cards. Got the Two of Swords popping in right to start. And we've also got, well, we'll take them all. We got 3 there. We got the Two of Cups. We got the Six of Pentacles. And we've got the Page of Pentacles as well. So, yes. Okay, so this is forming up a little bit better. The Two of Cups. I believe I did mention when the Lovers came up how the Two of Cups is someone who is a kind of a soulmate that just comes in, teaches a lesson, and moves on. I feel like this King of Cups might have been, you might have thought they were the Lovers. You might have thought they were like that permanent, they want that with you kind of energy, but they were really just a Two of Cups person. Like they were just coming in to teach you a lesson. And that's the worst thing about the Two of Cups, is it often is kind of in disguise. You see it as the Lovers, you want it to be the Lovers, but it ends up just being the Two of Cups. It ends up being like, and it ends up being a hard break, right? It ends up really sucking, right? Like it ends up being like, those are generally the worst kind of heartbreaks of all time, which the Three of Swords here in your outcome position also does represent heartbreaks as well. So very interesting that those come up. So I feel like this person was just kind of in disguise, and just kind of, and then once things kind of went sideways or went the way they didn't want it to, or maybe they were just kind of in here to try to, you know, sneak one in on you all along. You know, it's different for everybody. But yeah, I just feel like they're kind of revealing themselves as a person that never was going to stick around here. We got the Two of Swords here as well. Two of Swords represents moving on to new lands, moving on to things, taking the blindfold off, right? And seeing the new adventures and new worlds you could potentially go out and enjoy here, which I love with the Empress here as well, because the Empress represents a ton of abundance and good things coming into you and new opportunities. So that's fantastic. I feel like once this is all settled, however it is settled, you're going to be heading into a good place, right? Even if it doesn't necessarily work out in your favor, I feel like you're still going to head towards abundance and you're still going to head towards these new lands if you want to. If you don't, then you can stay put if you feel like it, but those new lands and those new opportunities are out there for you. We got the Six of Pentacles as well here, which represents being generous and being fair. Like I feel like overall that's what you want. Hello, Spike. How are you today? Yes, that's my nose. But the Six of Pentacles does represent being fair, being generous, being balanced, living in harmony here. Oh yeah, thank you, Spike. Thank you, Spike. Just what we needed. But it does represent a card of trying to be fair and trying to be trying to be abundant at this time. And you're trying to be fair but not hurting yourself, which is kind of a thing here. A theme here is balance and fairness that you want. And, you know, you're trying to be good and you're trying to be the better person in this situation, but this person's not playing fair with you. They want to win at all costs. They don't care if they bend or break the rules, right? But I feel like you being fair and you being balanced is ultimately going to be the thing that overcomes this, right? You surviving this initial, like whatever they got for you, then coming back and showing that you're better than that you're not gonna, you know, suffer their slings and arrows, right? So I love that. That's fantastic. And we got the Page of Pentacles here as your last clarifier, which is a card of a young at heart person or just a younger person. So someone might be a little younger than you who is coming in who wants abundance, right? They have the Ace of Pentacles in their hands here, and that is to represent that they have the seeds, the starting bit. You got to plant it in the ground and take care of it and nurture it, and eventually you have that ton of abundance that the Empress talks about, right? You'll eventually grow up to the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, excuse me, the Ten of Pentacles, which is a card of, leaving a legacy behind. To me, the Ten of Pentacles not only represents, like, it can represent your money, your time, your health, but it can also represent to me a family, because you're leaving a legacy behind. And what better legacy than like a family tree, right? Things like that. That really always resonates with me big time. So I feel like this young person coming in is going to be serious. Now, whether they're just here to teach you a lesson as well, or they're the real deal, remains to be seen, right? Like, we don't have anything beyond that here, but I feel like this person definitely is coming in a positive energy, unlike this King of Cups, who kind of came in presenting good, but what ultimately ended up being shady. I feel like this Page of Pentacles is going to come in with good intentions and nothing but. So I love that. That's fantastic. So let's tie everything off with an oracle card here. Thank you so much for being here, Capricorn. I appreciate it so much. Hopefully this has been resonating with you. Hopefully this will help you out as you go about the week. Thank you again, though, for being here, and let's see what we got. Let's see, Capricorn. For you, we got the Panther Spirit. Reclaim your power. You know it. This person's trying to take power away from you. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're playing dirty, because they know they're not as strong as you. They know in a, like, one-on-one, everything's fair and square. You take them out, right? Like, and that, I don't necessarily mean that like in a physical sense, but like in, like, whatever this situation is, like that, sort of being ruled over here by the Justice card. They know that, like, if it's fair, everything's even Steven, they ain't got a hope. And that's why they're trying to take some power from you, by trying to attack your weak spots, by trying to make you vulnerable so that, they'll look stronger. So you got to reclaim your power. You got to, it's going to be tough. You got to suffer through it. You got to learn that sometimes, these things happen. You got to take it on the chin, but you're going to come back even stronger and show them, like, hey, I'm more powerful than you could have ever imagined. So if you want to help out the channel here, Capricorn, you can always leave a like down below. You can subscribe to the channel. You can check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos after this one. Thank you so much for being here, Capricorn. Hope this has resonated. Hope this has helped you out. And I hope to see you, Capricorn, in the next video.